Welcome back to Walsall Fan TV. The Joy and the Pain podcast is also live and up and running on Apple, Spotify, and all those wonderful, wonderful places. We're here for the match preview. Stockport riding high, top of the league, against our Walsall. If we're talking Stockport, great man to have on is Craig Lee Rogerson. How you doing, Craig?
I'm good, Sam. You?
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's cold by you. It's booming, freezing here.
Yeah, it is. It's not the warmest.
I'm told. Well, I did check the forecast for the weekend, and it's supposed to be 6 degrees. So that'd be better if it is that warm.
Yeah, there'll be no issues with the game being on anyway. Our pitch is probably one of the best in this league, so we've spent that much money on it. There'll be no issues at all.
That's good. Well, I'm coming up for the game, so that should be good.
Good.
So you sent me a message before we got on for this, telling me about your tale of woe with all your players you got injured.
Yeah.
You have got one of the biggest squads in the league, and I've got 13 players that you've got out. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, it could be 13 and a half because Nick Powell could be in that list as well, but I think he's being.
Oh no, you've got him in there, Powell. You got Powell and Crosdale in.
Yeah. Well, it's just been the story of our season. I think when we played you at your place, we were talking. We had the Wootons out, didn't we?
Yeah, Wootons out. Yeah.
And we had I think Sarsfitt could have been out as well. And as we got one player back, we lost one player. We got another player back. We lost another player. But as the players stopped running out to come back, we just still kept losing. And we've really struggled December. Probably from mid-November, actually, we've really struggled to get a consistent side out just because of the injuries we've had.
You have got a bigger squad than us, though, haven't you? How many players do you think Walsall have got out or not likely to play because they're not fit?
Well, I did a little bit of research and I looked. So from December till the first league game in January, we used 21 players, but out of them 21. Only 16 are available now, and I think you used a very similar number. But I know you've had a few injuries since, haven't you?
Yeah, well, we had from your list, you got 13 out.
Yeah.
From my list, we've got 14.
Oh, good.
But of those, there are some of those that I'm sort of cheating a little bit, because they probably wouldn't have played anyway.
Right.
The likes of Folks, Mayonnaise, and Ram haven't been getting a lot of game time. I say Ram, he's unlikely to play because he hasn't been playing games. He's not particularly injured. And same with Folks and Mayonnaise. But Chris Hussey, blooming heck, that didn't end well, did it? He came to us and then went.
Yeah, well, he got sent off before he went as well, didn't he?
Oh, no, yeah. That didn't work very well. I won't touch on the rumours about his retirement, but yeah, it was very bad timing. He left us just after the transfer window had closed, which left our back three. He was the only left-sided centre half that we'd got, and he disappeared. So
we never really replaced him. So we actually we virtually had to change system because he left. We brought in Ibitore from Salford, who was one of the supposed best left full-backs, wing-backs last year.
Yeah.
But Challenger decided that he was going to play him as a centre-back, and it just didn't work. And he was one of the main reasons for our poor start to the season.
Yeah.
So Challenger finally woke up and realised that it wasn't working with him as a left-sided centre-back. And we've had to go back to a 4.
Yeah.
But we might have to go back to a 3 for this weekend because of numbers.
Yeah. Well, at Walsall, Walsall persisted, or rather, the manager Matt Sadler persisted with 3 at the back until we got to a position where we'd only got 2 fit centre halves. So it was at that point that he had to go to a back 4, and actually we had a bit of better form from it. We have gone back to the back 3. Now we've got the Priest is fit. Priestley Farquharson is a massive asset for us. He is very good. And Donovan Daniels has got a bit more freedom knowing he's alongside him. So that's made a difference. McKenty has been a big player for us, and he's out for the season. Tini, he's close to a return, and Sturk's close to a return. Outy, he's still going to be another month away, I think. And of course, our top scorer, Freddie Draper, has gone back.
Yeah,
gone back to Lincoln. So if we look by comparison, we're not point scoring by any means, but your top 2 goal scorers, Alafi with 13 and 2 assists, and Wootton with 10 with 4 assists, and then you got Paddy Madden with 7 and 3, and then your most creative would be Odin Bailey with 2 goals, 6 assists.
Yeah,
and they're all fit, I believe, aren't they?
Yeah, Odin Bailey was on loan from Salford. We've just signed him permanently.
That's good.
So he should he will feature. Alafi and Alafi's not been on form since Barry got injured. Alafi's form's just dipped. They work really well together.
But you've just signed Ethan Bristow. He's a very tricky customer, isn't he? Good winger, good left back.
Yeah, he was one of the best in the league last season, I believe, for Tranmere. So hopefully he can do for us what he did for them. I believe he's had a bit of a tough time in America. So hopefully he can rediscover his form and hit the ground running for us. Although he's not played since October. So
got you. So it might be a bit rusty against us, and
yeah,
we like catching you when you're on a bit of a blip. That's it's good timing. But I mentioned your top strikers, and that our top strikers, Draper, he's gone back. Hutch is playing. He's got 9 goals, 5 assists. McKenty would be the next one, but he's injured as well. And then our most creative, Sturk, he's got 2 goals, 5 assists. He's out injured as well. So you wouldn't think we'd have such a good run without them, but we have done. We're on a good run, won 5 of the last 6.
The trump card that you've got when you play us is Danny Johnson, because no matter how well Danny Johnson is playing or what his form is like, he always scores past us.
I was going to say, hopefully he's going to be starting because he does like scoring against you. I was going to say that. He's just got 4 goals, 1 assist so far, but he hasn't really been playing. Matt Sadler, the Walsall manager, wants to play with a lot of energy and a high press, which until about 5 weeks ago, when the chairman came and gave him a bit of a rollicking, we've started playing that way now. Before there, we were sort of not. So Draper worked best with that, with a high press, because he's a very active player. But of late, we've got the Hutch and Jack Earing are working together in midfield very well, and they're getting us higher up the pitch. So with the gap between the midfield and the attack not so great, that works a lot better for DJ. So I think DJ works into that team far better. Just calling to Fallen Maniac, got a comment here. Sturk and Tini may be available Saturday, according to the interview Sadler did after the Southampton game. Yeah, I think they're possibles for that game. I think Walsall-wise, I think we'll keep pretty much the same team. So that would be Jackson Smith in goal, Akagbu, the Priest, and Daniels as a back 3. Knowles right wing back, Liam Gordon left wing back, and the midfield with Comley as CDM, then Hutch and Earing making up the midfield, and then up front DJ and DJT. But we've had confirmation Liam Gordon. No, not Liam Gordon. Flash Gordon. Josh Gordon. That signing that I tweeted about and put on TikTok earlier, that's been confirmed. So Josh Gordon will be available for Saturday. But I think he's likely to be off the bench. But I quite like the idea of DJ and DJT perhaps and Flash sort of mixing that up between them is one that could work, particularly if Josh Gordon is not sort of quite on it yet. DJT is looking sharp, and he will do the chasing down. So if everybody else does the chasing down and DJ just puts the ball in the net, then that will work for us. We've just lost Craig for a short time, so I'll continue. Their last few games, they've not won in the last 3, but it doesn't really look that bad for them. They lost at home to Mansfield, but Mansfield are going very, very well. Drew away to Bradford, and Bradford are on a uptick. They're doing better. And Drew 2-2 away at Barrow. So that's a good point for me. Previous to that, won 2-1 at home to Notts County, which is a good win. And then Sutton at home, they beat them 8-0. So there's plenty of strength in there. Don't be kidded by the injury list. Rydell is missing. Toure is missing for Stockport as well. He's a big player for them. Pye is a decent player for them as well. Sarkovic and Hippolyte, they're likely to be missing as well. Will Collar is a player I particularly like, but he's missing as well. And Louis Barry is missing. But Wootton and Alafi with Ethan Bristow supplying the crosses is going to be a real tough proposition for everybody. I think we got Craig back with us.
Yeah, hello. Sorry about
that. Carried on without you, Craig. I just carried on. You agreed with everything I said. Apparently, that was it. Before we get right back into things, I'm going to just put this banner up just before I forget. I have another show that I've launched. It's the Budding Author Podcast. So anybody that likes to listen to people's stories for motivation and inspiration, and if you've got any interest in writing, have a look at that channel and subscribe and help support me in that. That would be greatly appreciated. The Budding Author Podcast. Right then, enough of that. Let's get that off the screen and we get back to our comments. Away the lads, we've got Geordie. Even as good as they were last year, we had a good time on the road there last year, especially in the FA Cup. Yeah. DJ's goal was a good one, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So are you still think you're going to win the league?
I think we'll go up. Whether we'll win the league or not, I'm not too sure. We played Mansfield last Saturday, and they were very good. I think them and Notts County are the best 2 teams we've played this year. So I would imagine it's going to be between. I think it's a 4-horse race as it is at the minute. Us, Wrexham, Notts County, and Barrow. I can't see Barrow continuing with the size of their squad. They get a few injuries. I think they will tail off. It's whether Notts County can claw themselves back into it.
They've dropped off a bit, haven't they? And the manager's gone.
Yeah. And if they lose a couple of key players, if they do lose a Langstaff or something like that, which is reported they could do, I think they might struggle. And defensively, they're shocking.
Yeah,
they are defensively.
We'll 2 against them at their place, and Mansfield are looking pretty strong, aren't they?
Yeah, they like I say, they came to us on our last game. We didn't play last week because we were embarrassingly knocked out of the FA Cup by Aldershot.
Happens. Wait, Loudon Southampton beat us.
Well, yeah. But yeah, Mansfield very good. I wouldn't say they've got any real standout players. Maybe Keeler Dunn is probably their standout player, just because he scores. He doesn't do a lot other than score.
That's what we want DJ to do for us. We don't want him to do anything, just put the ball in the net.
Well, he will. He probably will do on Saturday. It's almost guaranteed.
Christian Dennis did it for Carlisle last year, didn't he? He just put the ball in the net for him.
Yeah, but he struggled at Tranmere, hasn't he, this year?
Yeah, well, they've got no pace up front, have they, Tranmere?
No.
That's what's messing them up, I think. But they're improving. They're improving.
Yeah, there's a few teams that I've noticed that have started to pick up. Yourselves, obviously, you're doing really well at the minute. I think you're one of the form teams. Doncaster have picked up a bit. Tranmere have picked up. MK Dons have picked up slightly as well. So
yeah, Bradford have picked up since they got rid of Matthews.
Yeah. So I mean that's good for us as well, because if they can start picking up results against your Barrows, your Notts Counties and stuff like that, take points off them, that might make it slightly easier for us as well.
Yeah, I think I'm quite lifted by Walsall's recent results, because beating Crewe was a good result. Beating Wrexham was massive.
You beat Notts County as well, didn't you? Yeah,
Notts County as well. Even though we beat Wrexham, I thought Wrexham were very good. I think they're really up there for winning the league. Obviously, we saw you at the start of the season. I know you were struggling without Wootton. So we'll see on Saturday whether we're capable of doing it to you as well, perhaps.
Yeah.
But we've beaten. The thing is, it's not like we've beaten some lowly teams. We've beaten some good teams on that run. And the game against Grimsby, it sort of all came together there. They had us for the first 20 odd minutes, got 1-0 up, and then we turned on the style. because we won 6-1, but we were one down on half hour.
Right.
That's such as the momentum, the way the momentum changed. And a big player for us in that game, Douglas James Taylor, has struggled for game time. And it was only because Freddie Draper went off, really, that that was part of the reason. But Douglas James Taylor is sort of flattered to deceive in some respects. But for the equaliser, there's a ball played down the left-hand side, and he'd got no rights to get to it. And he beat the guy to it, took it down near the byline, and they're expecting him to pull it back, but he just lashed it into the roof of the net. And DJ was in the middle of it, waiting for the pass, and he just slashed it in. If he could keep up that kind of form, then that's going to be special for us. You remember last season, Barrow, a player, Josh Gordon, scored 15 for them last season. He got a move to Burton. That's not worked out for him. And he's back at Walsall. He just signed for Walsall. So whether he'll start or not, I don't think. He'll probably be on the bench. But he's similar to DJT, to Douglas James Taylor. He's quick, and he harasses everything, chases everything, every single ball. Whereas DJ, he'll chase a little bit, but really he just wants to score goals, which he does well.
So I've been looking at some of your recent lineups, and the players that stood out for me, definitely last season and in the first game this season, were obviously DJ, Owen Evans, and
Owen Evans, he's not playing.
I know, and the Hutch, and I've looked, and none of them are playing. So what's going on with them?
The Hutch is playing.
Right.
The Hutch is playing. Our turnaround in form, in some ways, has coincided with an injury to Owen Evans. Owen Evans, I don't think all was sitting well with him. He didn't seem comfortable like he had been last season. He had a knock, and Jackson Smith came in. I'd seen Jackson Smith in the JPT games, and he just didn't look first team ready at all. But so far, he's been very, very good. He's been up there for man of the match in most of the games. Made some really good saves. The difference, Owen Evans, it's so frustrating. We could never have any breakaways with Owen Evans. Whenever he gets the ball, he holds onto the ball until everybody is, it's just so frustrating. People screaming at him to let the ball go. But Jackson Smith's a bit more proactive with that, and we have been scoring some good breakaways. And with Douglas James Taylor and Tommy Knowles in the team, we've got some good pace there. So that's better. Jack Earing has also come back into the side recently. He had a long layoff. He'd been off for 12 months. And he's a big player. He's a big player for Walsall. Mike Flynn kept playing him pretty much as a CDM, but he's attacking midfield player, but he's box to box. And in his first game, he came on against Wrexham for the last quarter of an hour and nearly scored in the last minute on that. The ball played through to him, turned the defender and shot bottom corner. And it was just a really good save. In fact, that was Crewe. Sorry, not Wrexham. So he's been positive as well. So we've got a bit of strength there. Hutch, he's a player that sort of frustrates in some ways because he sort of languishes on the ball for too long. But now we've got Jack Earing. He's got somebody to play with effectively, because the other guys, Stirk and McInty, were sort of runners and ball winners, really, rather than sort of attack-minded players. Saying that, McInty sort of scored 5, got 4 assists, so he's no slouch. But I say he's out for the season, which is a shame. He just signed a new contract as well. That's typically.
So he's had a nice holiday on his signing on fee.
I think he must have done, yeah. He's had surgery, pulled his hamstring, and he's had operation, and he said he's going to be out for the season. So that's not great.
No.
Next one, let's have a look. Even as good as we were last year, we had a good time on the road. Oh, I've said that one. Hang on, I'm missing them now. We've got a new. The Saddlers Club is reopened, and it's the first time it's going to be open to everybody. But it is pretty much just for home fans. I think for £5 each, you can get in for away fans, but I don't think it's really for away fans. It's called the Locker, so that's up and running. Challenge Ant. Has anybody been to the Locker yet? Well, I'm going to go there for the home game, which is the next one after that. Delighted to see Flash return. Why did he leave us before, says Neil Barrett. Well, he went for more money at Barrow. Can you believe it? He turned down a contract to earn more money at Barrow. And then he turned down that to go to Burton. And then it's not worked out at Burton. So he's coming back to Walsall, trying to get a bit of form back, I think. That's the intention. That's the intention. Right then. So how confident are you, Craig?
I think we definitely need to win. Our form has been pretty poor. I mean, if you look at our league form, I think we're 8th in the league form, which isn't too bad. But if you look at all competition, I think we've won 3 and 13, which is pretty poor.
You say that though, Craig, but I think the last 3 games, I don't think it looks like you haven't won in the last 3, but losing at home to Mansfield with how well Mansfield are doing, that's no real bad. That's not a great result, but it's not a humiliating result by any means. Drawing away to Bradford are doing well, and it's always tough Valley Parade, and then drawing 2-2 with Barrow again.
Yeah.
They're not horrendous results.
No, I think we always knew we had a tough Christmas, so to pick up as many points as possible over Christmas was going to be tough. But before that, we had Salford. We only managed a 0-0 draw with them at home, and they're really struggling. Morecambe, we battered Morecambe, but
Morecambe.
No, we only drew. It was a 1-1 at their place.
How was it? How did you beat 6?
We beat Sutton 8-0.
Oh, that was Sutton.
Yeah, we beat Sutton 8-0. That was a no contest. But
they beat us at their place.
Really?
They beat us 4-0 by half time.
Right. Well, they were the worst team I've seen in a long, long time visit us. They were shocking. But yeah, I'm confident. We've had a lot of the players over the festive period looked out on the feet. I think we probably used the same 16 for maybe the whole of December and the beginning of January. They've had a week's rest. We've got a couple new faces. We've got Lemonhay Evans. He's come back in from Wimbledon this week.
I thought somebody was buying him.
No, we sent him and Joe Lewis out on loan to Wimbledon. Wimbledon have bought Joe Lewis off us.
Yeah.
But we've recalled Evans back because we are short of numbers. I think Challoner wanted.
Lemonhay Evans scored a great goal for them against us.
Yeah, he's been playing well for them, and the change in our formation, forced probably by Hussey disappearing for us and not replacing him, with us going to a sort of a diamond in midfield, it will suit him better than the formation did last year. Yeah. So hopefully he'll come and do the business for us. He was one of our best players at the end of last season, but then was shipped out at the beginning of this season because of the number of midfielders we had. But with the injuries we've got, he's been recalled, so he's available for Saturday. So hopefully he can do the business for us.
Not that short on numbers then, really.
Well, it's good when you can just recall numbers from teams that are doing well. Yeah.
Well, it'd be a good game anyway. I think it'd be good. Obviously, you guys will be favourites for it, but with the run Walsall are on, if our defence holds up, and DJ does his magic, we might come out with some points. I'll be happy with the point at this stage, but a win would obviously really throw us towards the playoffs.
Yeah. How do you think they'll approach it? Do you think you'll come and have a go, or do you think you'll come and sit back? Because a lot of teams that come to us, regardless of what the league position is, they tend to come and sit 10 behind the ball and try and catch us on the counter, which actually seems to work because we've got an ability at the minute to sort of break down a team that sits in against us. If a team comes and plays against us, we tend to pick them off. But if a team comes and sits deep and then hits us on the break, the defence thinks that they push on and they just get caught out quite easily.
I think we'll probably attack you. That's I think when the chairman came over, he made it clear to Matt Sadler we want to play front foot football, and we've been doing that since, and we've been doing better. The benefit is we've got the likes of Kagbu has been doing okay. We got Adi Biaga is a guy we've bought in on loan from Norwich. He's vying for that right-sided centre half position. But the Priest is one for me. The Priest is massive, and he does cover a lot of ground, and defensively gets us out of trouble a lot. He's a good player. He's not the best baller as such, but he's made a big difference to the defence. But it'd be an interesting one. I think I'm going to go for a conservative 1-1. And what's your prediction?
So if you come out and attack us, I would say I'd go for a 3-1 us. But if you do sit in, I think you could possibly nick it.
Okay. I'll ring Matt Sadler now. I'll tell him what he's going to do. As always, great to have you on the show.
Thank you. No worries.
During the pain, we need to sit back. We can't attack far superior team like Stockport. That's what the meditator says. Well, we'll have to see, won't we? I'm sure he's done his homework and he knows what he needs to do. Right then, so if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, join the journey as Walsall march towards the playoffs and try and catch the runaway leaders, Stockport. And if you haven't subscribed to the Budding Author podcast, my new show, that would be much appreciated if you pop a look at that. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Cheers, Craig.
See ya.